Hello, friends. Let me know where you're joining from today. Just getting set up. We are doing a rapid deployment today. I'm actually sitting on on a missile right now. True story. I am coming to you from an undisclosed location, and I feel safe and sound. And today is election day, so just going to wait for my guests to join. So we have guests coming in on Greg Meakin's Secrets from the Inside. I'm your facilitator, Val Olson, and we're just early here this morning. We're going to be broadcasting live here at 12, high noon in the desert. Vote day today. I hope you were out already. You maybe were part of the events voting going on, or you're voting today. Make sure and vote. I'm here, guys. Let me know if you can hear me.
First, there was Dueling Citizens, now Secrets from the Inside. Author Greg Meakin.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, can
There
you
we go.
can you hear me and can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, hear you. I'm just 1 second here.
Oh, your sound's awful, Val.
Is it? Oh no, you might have to do all the talking.
Really muffled. Really muffled. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just perfectly. You're coming through loud and clear. Okay, are we ready to start in 1 minute? I have your intro, so just do a mic check. Greg, I can hear you perfectly, so you might have to do all the talking.
Well, that's fine. Just do on your end what you can, slow and clear. I can hear you, but it's pretty muffled. So do what you can. And again, when James comes in, likely we'll be turning a bunch of it over to him anyways. So there we go. Are you logistically able to do single screen, double screen, etc.?
I should be able to. Yes, I have your intro. So right at 12, I'm going to play your intro. I will add guests as they come in.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're going to start right on time. I like to keep it tight. You know, I'm on top of a missile right now.
I'm going to ask you. Yeah, we're going to have you take a little warm-up time. Do your usual little intro. You know,
okay.
I'm going to pass to you. Say, okay, Val, what are we talking about? Where are you? Talk to me, and really just have some fun, okay?
Right. Well, here we go.
First, there was Dueling Citizens, now Secrets from the Inside. Author Greg Meakin nails it again. Introducing Secrets from the Inside radio show. Raw, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled. Secrets from the Inside starts now.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to
and welcome to Secrets from the Inside, episode 0023. This is Greg Meekin, Secrets from the Inside. And I'm at a secure, dare I say, undisclosed location, or I'll just tell you where I'm at. I'm in Pima County today, right on top of the Titan II missile here. So I feel so safe and secure. There's a lot of power, Greg, below my feet.
Yeah, if Val's sound is off a little bit today, she's standing near a rocket. Okay.
And a fast one.
Good morning, Val Olson. Good morning, Val Olson. How are you?
Good morning. Yes, I was just in the squadron briefing room, and I was taken to a very secure area where the green button is located. And, I took it all in, and I feel like we're in good hands. And the direction things are going today, it's always good to know where the green button is, Greg.
You always talking kind of code. I love that little code. You got the green button going today. I am so happy to see you, and so happy to be here. So happy to have our secret guest coming in soon. But this is as cool as it gets. This is a true rapid deployment where you are in Tucson, Arizona today, and once again on a moment's notice, giving us the great scenery behind you there. That's great. But this is as granular as you get, boots on the ground as you get. There you are in a Titan missile site in Tucson, Arizona. So this is as good as it gets. From what I hear, and cool background there, Val. Really cool background. And your voice will be less muffled, I think, because I'm going to do closed caption on this. So when we do replatform it and stuff, it will be okay with closed caption because we can hear your voice. But it's interesting because normally we schedule at least a 59-minute show and sometimes longer. But in this case, today might be a little bit shortened because Val's military battery temporary might go dead before the end of the hour. You're getting a lot of juice sucked there down at the rocket ship base, right? You got to help. Right. You got to help.
Yeah, well, I'm right on top of the access portal, and I mean they're kind of they're watching, they're making sure I'm taken care of. So I just want to give a shout out to our finest and our bravest. They are ready. Like this thing can go at a moment's notice, and that's what our U.S. military is all about. They are ready. They are ready at a moment's notice to deploy. And so I'm just thrilled to be here today and touching a piece of history and also a piece of our future because this, yes, it's I couldn't go push the green button this second, but don't kid yourself. We know what we're doing. This is powerful equipment, as many Americans are learning today on Election Day, vote day. The power is here. The power is in your vote today, and the power is in the green button too.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna try. It really sounds good. You sound really positive today. You got lots of stuff going on down there. Little secret agent Val stuff going on. Very cool. It's almost worth an entire show sometime to talk about that visit that you're having today. Seriously. So you never know.
That's the tip if you wanted to see how big this bad boy is. That's the tip of that. Imagine that coming at you. Wow. It goes fast, Greg. Like really, really fast. So
am I guessing I'll just kind of jump a branch just a little bit here. Am I getting the feeling from you that you're feeling the American military presence and strength? And and it gives you a good feeling, shall we say, moving forward or just feeling safe and sound as citizens. Am I getting that feeling?
Absolutely. And as you know, I'm unable to vote in the United States elections. So to sit on the top of a missile felt pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It felt pretty good. I felt really calm. I felt like I had a place. And it's not something I've done before. So maybe by the next election, I won't have to come sit on the top of a missile site. I can vote like I mean it. Because you
I
guys
mean,
have more power than I do. Your vote, you guys have a vote. All I can do is sit on a decommissioned missile. Come on now.
uh, have you been able to interact with any of our finest military folks? Have they kicked you out of there or anything?
Nobody has asked me to leave. They've been very gracious. Like I can just feel their presence. I'm not seeing in uniform. I mean, I'd like to think that they're at the voter box today too, exercising their American right and voting because that's what it's all about, right? Today's the day, Greg. Like the countdown's on. What's going to happen here?
Isn't it a crazy time? And what I'll do, I'm going to reach out to you and to
Okay.
anyone out there who isn't able necessarily to vote in the United States. You can still do your part like you are doing. You're you are reaching out to the masses, to folks that actually hopefully can
Yeah.
change the election.
And can I just give a shout out to our law enforcement too? We love you guys. Don't forget to vote today. I'm just in front of the security police checkpoint here. So if I get taken down, you'll know what happened. I'm in the wrong place. I stepped off the dotted line. But so far good. But yeah, I shout out to our military today. Shout out to our law enforcement. We love you guys,
Yeah.
and yeah, we stand with you. It's all about law and order. It's all about our freedom and our rights. And don't sit at home and pout and say, "Oh, I can't vote." Get out there and do it because some of us can't. Some of us can't.
Right.
And vote for me. Place that X where it needs to go. You can be my vote.
You think about it, Val, seriously, you think about it that there are so many people that would almost give their lives to be
Yes.
able to vote in the United States and be a US citizen. We know a ton of
Mm-hmm.
them, shall we say, up in Alberta and up in
Yep.
Canada. We know a ton of them from elsewhere. And what a message to folks that don't lift a finger down here as Americans and don't vote.
Yep.
The good news that I see is, and we won't get into deep election stuff or anything, okay? But I have some news. I got some updates from Arizona.
Oh,
I'm sure you,
wonderful.
I'm sure you do. Our special guest, assuming he's not pulled out for some rapid deployment on his own from Washington D.C. just
Mm-hmm.
because he will always be busy and taking phone calls and stuff. But just the quick up kind of feeling that I'm getting, and I just want to update this for Arizona folks. I'm going to front load this a little bit in terms of getting some of this breaking stuff on the record, just in case we're cut short on our broadcast.
Okay.
And I'll do the same with our guests as well, kind of do the quick updates. Really quickly, this is just me, my observation. I've been watching really closely to elections going on, really pre-Ronald Reagan and going back to the Pierre Trudeau days in Canada. I've never seen anything like this, Val. I've never seen anything like this, especially from the Republican side. I'm pinching myself a little bit in that Democrats historically, and good for them, they're the masters of early voting and mail-in voting. And I think of all the surprises that's going to come up this election is that actually Republicans, I believe, are actually winning on the early vote count. It's never happened. I believe it's never happened or close. And so that's a real big note right there. And also this is the first time that early voting is really being tracked. They're able to go really state by state, et cetera, and let you know the numbers on early voting right now. I don't have the hardcore stats right now, but Arizona itself has set every possible record as far as early voting, and Republicans are leading, at least in that aspect.
Hmm.
So statistically, Republicans vote on election day today.
Okay.
So if turnout Republican wise today is what it's historically been, you might be seeing some record numbers here. Anyhow, I just want to update that. Two things to get news wise, just out there, out from an Arizona standpoint. I was really happy to hear Lara Trump announce today that I've called this the "fool me twice" election. Right? No matter what, how crazy 2020 was, no comment, but how crazy it was. Laura Trump got up and basically the "fool me twice" thing. Republicans have 230,000 poll watchers today
Wow.
throughout the 50 states, and they have 500 retained attorneys in the
Excellent.
battleground states. All just making sure everything's on the up and up. If there's no cheating, there should be no issue. But I was
Right.
really pleased to hear that no matter what, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, we want secure elections. So that's a
Right.
biggie. The second thing is, and I've had to repeat this to a lot of my Democrat friends. There's a lot of emotion going on out there right now. There's a lot of actually freaking going on out there, and just look at the last week or 10 days of the press.
Mhm.
I won't say anything about being called garbage this week. Okay, I'll hold off my quotes on that. But the I hear my Democrats friends saying, uh, even one in particular up north today, who had said that he's willing to let's shake hands. Whoever wins, may the better candidate win, and again, let's move on and accept
Mhm.
the results. He had said that, and I had said I really, really, really wish that it could be that way. I really do, and I think most people do. Good old elections in the old days. About 10 o'clock
Right.
at night, the election was called. Here we go, But um, my concern, and I answered him. I don't very often opine just on this kind of back and forth social media stuff anymore. I just don't have time. But there are two things, and I brought it up to him. I said, I wish elections could be that way. I really do.
Mhm.
Trump's being labeled as the disturber and all that stuff. We won't go into that. But I said I would love to have that too, but I don't think we're going to for two major reasons that I see right now. Number one, the Democrats have already said they're not going to certify the election.
Hmm.
Jamie, no matter, regardless of landslide or not, margin of victory or not, Jamie Raskin said that they're going to move between now and January to decertify the election, not allow Trump to become president. I don't know if our Democrats knew that, but he's saying right now we're not going to certify it. Whether that's logistically possible or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. They're saying it. The second thing that really bothers me is right now as we speak, and I've confirmed this. This is confirmed by Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs. Republican Arizona Andy Biggs, awesome guy. He had said, as we speak, Democrats in Congress are preparing articles of impeachment against Trump. Like right this second. So I'm sitting back, and I've always said I'm an old jock. I don't mind getting my butt kicked in sports. You shake hands, go away friends. You're going to lose more than you're going to win. It's easier to be a good loser than it is to be a cheerful winner. Losing is the tough part. But sadly, I don't know. I don't know whether we'll ever see that kind of a cut and dry election anymore. And all I would say, and I mean this to my Democrat friends, is this time around, unlike 2016, please don't burn our cities if you're pissed because you lost. I mean, please don't burn our cities this time. People forget 2016. Most of our urban centers burned billions of dollars of damage. So please don't burn our cities. Secondly, please just preserve our democracy and allow the peaceful transition of power, like the Constitution says, and allow, even if you hate him, even if he's the orange man, and allow him to be president, which is what our founding fathers wanted. Allow him to be president, peaceful transition of power. Our founding fathers knew there'd be these types of fist fights. Read back sometime. There were literally fist fights going on back there. Politics hasn't changed, but the internet changed everything, especially social media. So all I would say at this point is, again, I pray that it's a pretty cut and dry election. No one knows what to expect starting November 6th. No one I know, really on either side, trusts anything anymore, including our elections. So if anything, may this be the last time we go through an experience like this, because to my dear Democrat friends, and I love you, my Canadian liberal friends, I love you guys, but I want to let you know that there's probably over half the country that will be very disenfranchised, like Democrats are, if you lose. And that's a brand new concept that actually the will of the people. There's going to, if Trump happens to win, which I believe he will, I've reminded my liberal friends uh, that during the Obama years, during those other years, we had disenfranchised Republicans who didn't feel they were part of the process. Especially, let's go 2020. We won't talk about that. But so may indeed the best candidate win. May indeed the loser concede quickly. May it not be tied up in the courts. But sadly, I think it will. But
Yeah.
either
That's
way,
so sad. That's so
I,
sad. And I mean, it's good that they have this advanced information because that might just be the tip of the missile, so to speak. That they've had enough. They've had enough. And let me tell you though, we may have decommissioned things and pieces where I'm at, but don't think for a second that we're not ready for justice, for law and order, and that's what it's all about. I decided to do a on standby tour today and just revisit the foundations of what the United States of America is built on, and it is built on brave people that stood up and fought back, and who aren't giving up, who aren't stopping, and that's not a political party. That is a spirit, and that is what the United States is built on. So, I agree that there is a max exodus of the Democrats coming over to the values end of things, because that's what it boils down to. And everybody has a limit, Greg. And I think that that limit is what's been pushed over the edge. It's been pushed over the edge, and people are being, and I hate to say it, but Democrats are being treated as very stupid, as they're stupid and can't see through things. And I think it's moments like this where we learn in advance that these things are happening, and that there's no peace in that. That's that's keeping people fighting, and already knowing that the outcome of the election, if it doesn't go how they think it should go, not the will of the people, but how some loser politicians think it should go, they're going to try and work on the emotions of the Democrats and get them to do very bad things. But I'm going to say there's a mass wake up going on today, and people are out here in droves. Isn't it interesting? I'm not the only one that is sitting on a decommissioned missile today. That's how they're choosing to spend their vote day. I mean, we're all different. I kind of thought I might be the only one, but nope. There's lots of people out here exercising their right, and this is land of the free, home of the brave, and we are still standing on standby. Um, don't let decommission stuff fool you. That's what I can say. This stuff is shiny, Greg. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I mean, these are just sparkling, ready for rapid deployment. I think that's what the United States is all about. Is they're ready for anything, ready for anything. And what is it? Fool around and find out. you know, fool around and find out.
oh yeah, and that's putting it very politely. Good for you, Val.
Thank you.
Isn't it true? You know what I'll tell you? What, that's a great background. I mean, this is great. You know who'd love that kind of rapid deployment on site like that with that background? Elon Musk would love that. He'd think that's cool. He would think that's cool.
Yeah.
He also does rockets too. I don't know if people are aware of that, but he does rockets too. Anyhow,
You know what? If I'm not able to vote the next election, I will sit on top of a rocket. You heard it here first on Secrets from the Inside. Today I'm on a decommissioned missile, but next time I'll go in a rocket.
that is so great. 5'1", and we'll punch you right in the nose to protect our country, to protect our
Right.
families, period. So good for you, Val. I'm so proud of you. That was truly a rapid deployment, and you got this thing up and running. Very, very good. It looks like it's possible that our secret guest, who is, by the way, Captain James McCormick, I haven't heard from him, so it's entirely possible he can't drop in today. So if anything, it might be a shortened version today of the show. I've got a couple of things to go over, and I know you've got still more stuff to go over. But we'll wait to see if James pops in. If not, we might kind of cut it short a little bit. But what I'll do is I'm going to review something really quickly, and it's something that I published about 48 hours ago. It's called a Greg's List, and I was really moved to my heart to at least put this in writing on paper and publish it, because I believe it's a really really historical election. I won't. I won't elaborate again about my writing of my Greg's List, that I was the first to guarantee a Trump victory in 2015, and I followed up. I guaranteed that Hillary Clinton couldn't be president and all that stuff. But I wanted to take a minute because this really came out of my heart, and I've written a bunch of them, but it was for this election. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's Val, I think this is about 1,600 words. So it's like my old style Greg's List, right? But I am just going to read the headlines, just the titles on each of them. If anything, again, to get it on the record, but just to remind folks that there's an entire half of the country, call us garbage, if you will, call us garbage, but they're really worried about the election. Well, we want to see democracy restored, if you will. But it is called Greg's List Election 2024. It's right there. Look at that. Remember, hard copy, Val. Right, there we go. Looks like a white paper, doesn't it? Anyhow, again, this is posted on my website for folks, which is gregmeekin.com. It's on the trending section. And I'm just going to read the headers to get it on the record here. Greg's List Election 2024. It's called Only 12 Reasons Why Donald Trump Will Kick Butt. I love that title. Only 12 Reasons Why Donald Trump Will Kick Butt. Here we go. Number one. Record Democrats will vote Trump. I'll read. Forget independents, forget wishy-washy undecideds. This time around, hardcore Democrats who have never voted Republican will do so. Next one. Again, they're more lengthy, but next one. Gas and groceries are stupid expensive. Self-explanatory. Next one. Americans are pissed. I've described 2024 as a fool me twice election. Anyhow, next one. Republicans are now the big tent party. I love this one. I'll read it because it's only 2 lines. The numbers won't lie. Write it down. Donald Trump will win record numbers of women, blacks, Hispanics, Jews, Arabs, union workers, and other fed up American citizens. The next one, and I won't read this, this is extensive, but it's called An Earth-Shattering Canadian By-Election. Earth-shattering Canadian by-election. Back on June 24th, there was an obscure election up in Canada where a conservative won for the first time in over 3 decades, because those Canadian folks, it was in the Toronto-St. Paul riding. Toronto-St. Paul. Those folks, even the Liberals, were sick and tired of basically Trudeau policy. And they voted a conservative in, again, only once in the last 3 decades. So I think that I identified that as being a real similar to what I believe will happen in the U.S. The next one, Trump speaks directly to the American voter. Does anyone out there not understand this? If Ronald Reagan had 2024 social media, he would have won 75% of the popular vote. Next one. Democrats and the media are the real fascists. I won't go into that one, but it's really clear and self-explanatory. The next one, the Biden-Harris border policy is virtual treason. We're talking about now up to 25 million illegals in this country right now. So Biden-Harris border policy is virtual treason. And again, I go into that in detail. Next one, you ready? And I don't mind if I am totally wrong on this, I'll raise my hand, but it says Trump will win the coveted popular vote. He will win the coveted popular vote. Side note, record Republican popular vote of all time is Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon won 61% of the popular vote in 1972. And I say if Nixon can win 61%, methinks Donald Trump can win 51%. So there you go. Next one. Ducks in a row feminism is here to stay. That was an entire article I had written, and it is basically that I've seen a transformation of a lot of the women now that simply reject the old 1960s women's movement and just are more traditional home front women. It's called Ducks in a Row Feminism is here to stay. The next one that I'm really most proud of is Team of Rivals 2024. This is a first, Val. This is a first where, here we go. I'll read the first line. Elon Musk, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy. Dr. Jordan Peterson described 2024's Republican coalition as X-Men, a team of Avengers. And I think he threw in Captain America to describe Trump. Abraham Lincoln, way back in the 1800s, was actually formed what a book, Doris Kearns Goodwin, beautiful book called Team of Rivals. Abraham Lincoln formed a team of rivals where he literally brought in Democrats to his cabinet and even appointed a Democrat vice president. Very cool, because he realized, imagine that. You think the country's divided right now? You think it's divided? There were 600,000 plus deaths during the Civil War. So we are divided, but Abraham Lincoln recognized you must work with your rivals and bring them on your team. I am stunned. We've never seen this from Republican administration, Republican candidate, where he brought in literally 4 people that never would have been, part of his campaign. So, and again, here we go. Number 5 almost is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan endorsed Donald Trump. He's a Bernie Sanders supporter. So that type of approach right now is what I'm thinking is there's going to be so many Democrats that kind of change sides this year. That was Team of Rivals 2024. And the last one, and I'll even read this. Trump is the better candidate. Sports experts are clinical, non-emotional people when it comes to betting or analyzing a game. No matter the emotional cheerleading or anger and excuses with a loss, they will ask, who was the better team? In the 2024 election cycle, the clinical truth is Donald Trump is a better candidate than Kamala Harris. Way better, and it's not even close. I say, if you disagree, you might want to do your homework. McDonald's, anyone? So there you go on that. I do, and there's links on there and stuff on my website. They're much more detailed than I just went over, but I encourage folks to go to my website, which is gregmeakin.com, and that's spelled GREGMEAKIN.com, trending section, and you will find indeed only 12 reasons why Donald Trump will kick butt. So wanted to go a little edgy on the title there, Val. So are you in line? Are you okay with your mic and stuff? Are you able to pop back in? It looks like you're now driving. Just waiting for Val here. Anyhow. Not only my website, gregmeakin.com, but just a quick plug here. My book, Why I Came to America and What I Think Now, published a couple of years ago and is now on Amazon for $5 ebook. We're sold out of hard copies now. So $5 ebook, Amazon.com. And that is Why I Came to America and What I Think Now. Also, and this actual show will be replatformed on my Rumble channel. Long story, but my Rumble channel is Secrets from the Inside Radio, and we're still having technical issues trying to get that live streamed. So anyhow, a little bit on my Greg's list, a little bit on where you can find my work, and a little bit on what's going on in Arizona. A final note about Arizona, Val, is I almost fell off my chair when I saw polling as of, I think it's Friday. It's Tuesday now. Polling with Kerry Lake. Kerry Lake is the Senate candidate down here. All of the polls say that the Democrat Ruben Gallego is going to win. He has been he's been ahead of Kerry Lake up to 10 points and even more. But as of Friday, Atlas Intel, that's the polling, that's the poll, folks, that I tend to watch really closely. A little bit of real clear politics as well, but I like Atlas Intel, and they put Kerry Lake for the very, very first time up, leading by 1 point in Arizona. That, based on statistics and trends, is almost a miracle. I wouldn't for a minute guarantee she's going to win, but most Arizonans were preparing for 2 Democrat senators in the Senate. That's called a blue state. So if somehow Kerry Lake can pull out a win right now, that will be an additional seat in the Senate. That's almost a pennies from heaven one. People were not expecting her to win. So I'll toss that out there. I did check with 2 sources today on that number, though. Right? I don't just take a number, right, Val?
Well, we do know that the Arizona police, they backed Trump. They are endorsing Trump. But they are not endorsing Kerry Lake. They are endorsing Gallego. So, the question today is, why is she unelectable?
Right.
That was my question.
Right.
So I imagine that's on other people's hearts and minds, especially here in Arizona.
Right. Long ago, when she was running for governor, and Val, you and I followed this really, really carefully.
Yes.
But long ago, when she was running for governor, she made one of the biggest unforced errors I've ever seen in American politics, and that's she dissed the John McCain voters, the McCain supporters. People might or might not agree with John McCain, his policies. Some have labeled him a rhino, but I'm just going to tell you what. John McCain was a good man. I don't care what anyone says. This guy, what he went through in the POW camp, he voted traditionally Republican through his entire career. I was not a fan of him. I didn't believe that he really was a good presidential candidate. But nonetheless, he deserves respect, and his supporters deserve respect. And she basically did not give it to them. And I'll say that to her face. I think that was a real unforced error, because that's why, that single reason, amongst others, that single reason is why there was such there were literally, remember never Trumpers? There were a lot of never carries in Arizona. And it's just a fact that the polling data suggests it, and her record suggests it. However, what I'm saying is, if Kerry Lake can win Arizona, I would shout to the rooftops happy, because I'm looking at the U.S. Senate right now, and Republicans have not had the Senate, of course, in the last 4 years, and that's where the action is. Those are the gatekeepers before bills go to the president. The Congress just, all whatever 500 and something of them, they just fight and scramble over stuff, put together bills. Then it goes to the principal's office, which is the Senate. And all I know now, and all I feel, is it is so important to hold, hopefully, a good majority in the Senate. And if Kerry Lake could be elected, that would really help in that end. So there's my 100,000-foot view right there. But I was blown away to hear that she had a lead. And again, one of the polls, but my most trusted poll. So either way, this is like a Super Bowl week. Super Bowl goes 2 weeks after the end of the season, 2 weeks, and you finally get to Super Bowl day, and then the game starts like around dinner time. And by the time half the way through the day, you're saying, could we just start the bloody game? Could we please just start the bloody game? And I've never seen such anticipation for an election as this one in 2024. Back to you, Val. You might be on mute.
Right. No, I'm off mute. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
Couch up here.
I'm I'm on a highway that's very busy. There tends to sometimes be cartel action on this highway. And when we think of our needs locally here in Arizona, that's one of the biggest disappointments during the local race. Is we have a loved and respected sheriff with skin in the game and experience. And our best case scenario is we're inheriting someone who can read off of a teleprompter as skills. And these are great skills to have. I have them as well. And don't underestimate just being like a bobblehead who reads. It's that it does take skill. But when you're dealing with cartels and you're dealing with human trafficking and have you ever been shot at? Like those are realistic things that our local candidate, the well-known Sheriff Lamb across the United States, we didn't get to see him in that Senate seat, and I just think he would have brought a different type of flavor, a flavor and a security end, and you can just say it, smarts, experience, wisdom. So our best case scenario is we have somebody who looks great on the camera, and she's known amongst her TV show is no more. I know what that's like. I used to have a TV show, and when you come out of that fake world and into the real world of real world problems at the doorstep, what are her negotiation skills like when it comes to life or death situations? And so I come back to our Arizona police, and they were not able to endorse her. They endorsed President Trump, not Carrie Lake. So I think people want the truth. There's some unfinished business. And I'm also watching and waiting to see today if Carrie Lake was on record offering Sheriff Lamb, head of DHS, if he was going to drop out of the race. So I'd like a follow-up to see where that is. Where is that offer in play? What time will the press release be out on that? I'm on standby. I have left the decommissioned missile. I'm on route. So if Carrie wants to talk, or like I can come to you, I can come to her, or whoever. I'm on route, Greg. So I'm in the field today. I'm on standby. Captain James, obviously he's busy. He wasn't able to come to the show, but if there's anything I can do to help you guys on the election integrity front, you just send me where you need me today.
Nice. I like that. Investigative journalism. The Fourth Estate is still alive and well with Val Olson News. Seriously. Fourth Estate is what news used to be. Actually, Walter Cronkite days. Goodness gracious. So you're getting fewer and fewer and far between. But the Fourth Estate, meaning journalism, the integrity of journalism, is crucial to this country. As the First, Second Amendment, it's actually in the First Amendment, freedom of the press, for that very reason. So, folks like you, and there's a lot out there like you and me, Val, we want the truth to come out. I've said forever, and I hope Democrats can get behind this. I'm looking for 2025. Seriously, I'm looking for 2025 to be the year of transparency and justice. A dear friend of ours, Mike Russell, in other news, Phoenix broadcaster extraordinaire here, he says that as well. He says, okay, enough of the BS. We want transparency. Open the books. And I mean, open the books. We're all grown-ups. We want to take a look at it. We'll decide from ourselves. Open the books on UFOs. Open the books on the JFK assassination. Open the books on the pharmaceutical industry. Open the books on the Hunter Biden laptop, which changed the election last time. It was clear that a large amount of independents would have not voted for Joe Biden if they'd known about that laptop story. So enough of cover-ups. Americans can't stand cover-ups. And the same on the Republican side. People forget that after burning our cities in 2016 when Trump was elected, then they spent $100 million on taxpayers' funds trying to take down a sitting president with a Russia collusion hoax. And the What's Face committee, it was just a nightmare. $100 million after all is said and done in order to take down a sitting president. We won't talk about the double impeachments and one in the works. Make it a triple. I'm going to ask my Democrat friends, maybe they could hold off impeachment this time till after Easter or something. Give us a break. Maybe 3 is a charm. Never seen it. Where it's called lawfare, where an opponent, in this case, the Democrat Party, literally tried to change my mind on this. Invent legal cases. It's called in the old Al Capone days, a frame up, a frame job. You figure out something you can charge the guy with, and take it all the way through the courts. And no matter what, that has never happened before to a sitting president. So if anything, I hope that BS stops. I hope it stops. Because I'll tell you what, I think the majority of Americans are fed up with it. And as much as the Dems have tried to throw at Trump, and vice versa with Kamala, but as much as they tried to throw at Trump, I can't dream how frustrated they are because they have not been able to take him down. And I'm saying, it's so wrong. And something's got to change here. You're not supposed to attempt to take down a sitting president because you're pissed. And that's right in the Constitution. It's called peaceful transition of power. And everybody will have their quips about January 6th and all that stuff. That's a whole show unto itself. I keep saying January 6th. Why did Nancy Pelosi turn down 3 times to have the National Guard there just to protect the Capitol? And why, if there were 40, it's confirmed, at least 40 federal FBI agents and operatives, at least 40, and I've heard up to 150 and more, were on the property that day. And I'm saying to myself, how the heck do you have 40 guys there? Shouldn't they be like tackling people, handcuffing them, and arresting them? I don't understand it. My Democrat buddies have never been able to understand that. So, boy, that was a little baby rant. Sounds like we're having a short show today. I mean, I'm jamming everything in here. But to finish up on this, on the Carrie Lake thing, seriously, Val, I feel in my heart, and why I'm a little bit non-judgmental here, I feel in my heart that Carrie Lake is going to go vote straight Republican and vote with Trump right now. And that's good enough for me right now, because I've watched for the last 4 years, I've watched the laws, the bills brought forward, the spending brought forward, whatever, and I sure wish I'd had an extra Republican or two. So if anything, I'm cheering for Carrie Lake. If there's any fallout as far as controversy, she's been a controversial figure. But if there's any fallout or questions or whatever, let's pose those to her after the elections. Let's get that 51st vote. Seriously, it's very, very important. Kind of back to you on that, Val. And I do envision kind of a shorter show, wrapping this up a little bit. I've definitely got stuff off my chest a little bit. Gone on record for November 5th in the year of our Lord, 2024, and Election Day. Back to you, Val. Go for it.
Yeah, I really like what you said about accountability. And, where I come from, Greg, we call that managing our vote. We don't just pray about it and walk away. We go to the box. We choose wisely. We choose educated, and then tomorrow it's back to work. And may this election and this wake-up call be a cycle of never repeating past mistakes. And I think trust is something that is earned. So I want to be the first to congratulate if Carrie Lake is to win. But what I'm not comfortable with, Greg, and I'm just going to say this now because I think it's very important to put it on the record, is I was uncomfortable that Carrie Lake, from the first night when she ran as governor, she never accepted a win. She was waiting around looking for people to tell her if she won or not. And I think it's very important. Look to the Amish. Do you think that they hang around a TV and wait for an ever-changing pop-up programmable robot to show up on the computer screen and tell them who won? Or do you think that they have another way of identifying who the winner is? And that's what we all need to do. Is we don't need to turn on a TV and listen to someone we don't know anything about. We just watch them and listen to whatever they say blindly. And instead, look around your neighborhoods, look around you, and look at the wave of unity that's happening between Democrats and Republicans. Listen to how many Democrats have come back to their values, and that's what we need to do, is come back to our values. And as for you politicians, if you know you won fair and square, don't wait for a bobblehead to confirm that for you. Act it out. And if Carrie Lake does this, this will be a second time, which is going to be a precedent-setting situation on our hands, and a real top level security concern at the highest levels of the Republic Party, to recognize this is what Carrie Lake has brought to the Republican Party. So if she can't determine if she won or lost tonight, I'm going to be really disappointed. Again, it comes back to that you can read off a teleprompter screen, but you got to be strong. You've got to have an integrity, and you got to have grit, and you got to know, right? Don't look to other people to tell you what to do. You look inside yourself and own it.
Right. And you've been approaching just the Carrie Lake story because it's been a busy political environment for the last couple of years. But you've been very fair. You've said, and I will relay this invitation post-election and stuff when the dust settles. You're very fair that you'd like a sit-down Q&A with Carrie Lake and let her defend her positions. There's always two sides to every story. But you're not the kind of person who's looking for a hit piece or whatever. You simply want the truth. And once again, transparency. We're all grown up. We're grown-ups. We can handle the answers, people. But either way, we'll definitely extend an invitation, probably sometime in 2025, for Carrie to visit and really answer our questions. Side note: Mark Lamb, Sheriff Lamb, wanted to be here today, but guess what he's doing today? He's on an airplane back to D.C. because he's appearing with Trace Gallagher live on Fox tonight. Okay, there's the plug. Fox tonight, Trace Gallagher, Sheriff Mark Lamb, be there, be square. It's going to be exciting. As a second side note to that, I do believe Trump is going to appoint Sheriff Lamb to his cabinet in some way. I'll just say that. I'm not sure. That's no guarantee or whatever. But I and people like Captain James McCormick, we've been calling for a Sheriff Lamb for Director of Homeland Security. There's someone to shore up our border with a smile, yes. Shore it up with a smile. But there's a perfect cabinet position for Sheriff Lamb. Either way, God bless him. He's not going anywhere. I told him, I can't believe it. He's been so dedicated to public service, and he's done amazing things. He shut down rampant crime on the reservations down here while he was a detective. I mean, he's done big stuff. He's not just a photo op guy. By the way, he's never been shot at in his life. I asked him that. Through everything he's been through, no one ever took a shot at him. I think there's a message there, Val. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, never. Triple side note to that. I want to do a true shout out to who will be the next sheriff of Pinal County in Arizona. He will be filling some really big shoes in Sheriff Mark Lamb. But I think the election tonight will show that Ross Teeple, Teeple, Teeple for the people, will be the next sheriff of Pinal County. And I'll tell you what, Val, I met him, shook hands with him, chatted with him. Very first thing he ever said to me, I love this guy, is, "Did you vote for me?" He's like an Amway closer, right? But I'm telling you, I really like him. He's everything we would expect, like we did from Sheriff Lamb. So Ross Teeple, whether people know it or not, will be the next sheriff of Pinal County. Nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's carved in stone. Anything can happen during the election night. But I'm really excited because I was very concerned. We love Sheriff Lamb here. And again, it's not just the image. It's not just the cowboy hat. The guy's for real. He's authentic, and he's amazing executive as far as being able to manage that budget that he had, and he runs it in the black. Imagine this, running a government budget in the black. So I wish when this is replatformed, I wish Ross Teeple the very, very best. I pray that he becomes sheriff, and I plan on visiting with him and you and kind of getting into the kind of conversations we had with Sheriff Lamb, because it's imperative that we keep our law and order in 2024. We need to keep our law and order. I've said before, we don't need any brand new laws. We don't need any brand new laws. We just need to enforce the laws that are existing. There's a law for everything in the United States, everything. So kind of back to you on that. I'm kind of ready actually to wrap up a little bit. If you want to take a quick minute, I know you're going to be tough on battery, and you're on the fly there. Who's driving, Val? Who's driving? It looks like you're sitting.
I have my friend is visiting from Alberta, so he's the driver, and safety first, and he's driving. And we're looking at some of the hot spots in Arizona today, and he's just done a wonderful, marvelous job. So
Awesome.
Yeah. So as for my closing thoughts, it would just be to those of you that are watching at home, or maybe you're a politician and you're hanging by Greg's secrets from the inside, because you have let some out of the bag, some really big ones today. I just want to wish you the best. Stand your ground. And I want to touch on the Republican man. That's what's on my heart as we head out of this. Be who you are. Stand in your truth. Stand in your DNA. And stand as a true Republican. Don't look around and try and blend in. Be yourself. And I'm going to leave you with parting words from our dear sheriff. Fear not and do right. And that's who we're going to send to the White House. If you're going to get the best from Arizona, it's going to be the team that we have, which is Sheriff Lamb and his wife. They are a unit that if we can put that in DC, look out. The cleanup has begun, and it's very, very exciting because that brand is what you witnessed of me today. Sitting right by the missile today. That really is who we are and what we encompass. It's the Wild West in here. We're not afraid of a cleanup. We're not afraid of a mess. We're not afraid of information. We're not afraid of anything. And we welcome this new unity that's happening, from the Democrats to the Republicans to the Libertarians to the people who don't give a flying whatever. We are one people that are moving forward, and we want to be healthy again. We want to be happy again, and we want to be free again. And it's just this is a sobering up, grow up moment. This is our second chance, or coming back to our roots or our values. But look out, watch out, China. That's all I can say on that note. Watch out, China.
There's a good closing statement. Boy, I heard a statement from Trump the other day. He's not afraid of China. I was real happy to hear that. I'm going to do one thing before, because this has been kind of a serious election catch-up and stuff. I like to do something usually a little lighthearted. And I'm going to finish up with that. First thing, I wanted to remind you, just in case we had any Democrat trolls on today, I still have my referee's whistle, right? I whistle them down. Get out of the rink. Get out of the rink. Okay, but this is what I want to share with you. Everyone has kind of their little secrets or idiosyncrasies, and I wanted to show you something that I keep by my on my desk. For broadcast or whatever. And it's just, I keep it as a reminder of what's important. You'll love this, Val. And it is this. I'll put this right in the camera right here, right there. These are baby booties, little booties. Look at those. Do you see those, Val? And I keep these on my desk. I have 3 boys. They don't wear booties like this anymore. One is 44 and my twins are 35. But I keep those on my desk to remind me what's important in life. What's important in life still are my babies, my wife and my babies. And everybody I know feels similar, that no matter what, I do believe that 2/3 or more of Americans are just regular, down-to-earth, nice folks who I describe as 1950s handshake world. They're not the people you hear in the media. They're not the couch fainting folks on either side. And I'll just conclude today. It's been just a fun, fabulous day. I wish we had Cap McCormick here, but we're going to have a number of Secrets from the Inside episodes, not only before the end of the year, but just rocking into 2025. So I will leave everybody with this today. First, I want to deeply thank Val Olson for bringing such a rapid deployment of a fun episode on one of the most important days in our country's history, which is Election Day 2024. I believe we're making history. I pray it's good history. Good history. I pray it will. But I do believe that historians are going to look back to the last decade or so, and hopefully see something that should never be repeated. And I'm not talking just Donald Trump. I'm talking across the board in this lawfare and everywhere. So I do indeed hope that this era comes to an end, hopefully in this next term, regardless. And I will finish off this show like I do every show. And that's saying, wake up in kindergarten every day. There's so much to learn and so little time. Because before you know it, you're in first grade. God love you, everybody. God love you, Val. Thank you so much for the show today.
This is Secrets from the Inside, episode 0023. Greg Meekin is your host. I am your military radio gal on the road today, and I salute you, President Trump, and God bless America.